Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems. And can you believe that we are just a couple of weeks, less than a week and a half away from the end of the year, and many people gathering together for the holidays this today, throughout this week, through the weekend. And for those that are showing up today, I want to tell you thank you for showing up. See Cynthia and Fernando and Devin and Michelin. And let's see who else we've got here. Chandra, good to see you. Tanya, good to see you. We've got several folks that have joined us this afternoon. So I want to tell you thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a review of some of the things that we've covered this last year. I'm going to show you a little bit on the YABS YouTube channel, so you can take a look a little bit about that. But it's going to be a good webinar. We're going to talk about different things. Now, obviously, this webinar is for you, so I want to make sure that we get your questions answered. So if I'm going through a topic here and something triggers your mind, feel free to take the time to type in your question over there, and I'm going to show you where the question box is. It's right there. You should be able to see that on the screen. It's just right down there, the little Q&A box. What I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, just to make sure that I'm being heard, since I'm the only person on here today, if you wouldn't mind just typing something over there, maybe hello, maybe where you're from, what part of the country you're located in, and that'll certainly give me a little bit of feedback on that I'm being heard loud and clear. Again, my name is Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon. Who knows if we do not have a special guest that might pop up here. I don't know, but we may have a few here. So we've got Cynthia from Raleigh, North Carolina. Good to see you. Sakina, good to see you from North Carolina. Burr from from Chicago. Burr, yes. Michelin, I hope I'm saying your name correct. We're about to get it here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're expecting lows in the single digits here. It's going to be very, very cold. Tanya, nice to be here from South Carolina. Got a lot of folks from the East Coast here. Good to see you. Got another one from Lubbock, Texas. So good to see you. So gosh, we're going to get started here. Again, today, let me just kind of pop this back over here so I can set the correct expectations. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to review some of the webinars that we've done from the past this year, some of the topics. I'm going to show you a little bit of where to find that, because during the holidays is a great time. You got maybe a little bit of downtime to go back and review some of these webinars, because we've got some things that are just packed into those. Some things you may find that we've repeated, but you got to also understand that there's a lot of new people that show up on these webinars quite often. So sometimes we've got to kind of go back and review, but you'll see some of the webinar topics that we did this last year. Again, for some of those other folks that have just popped in here, thank you. Williams, I think I see William there. Again, my name is Eric Auger. Let's get started here. The first thing I'm going to do is show you a little video here. Some of you may have seen this, but I'm going to play this so that you can make sure that you've seen it. So here we go. Let me see if I can get this started.
How would you like to be in a business that is recession-proof, in an industry that is poised for growth, has unlimited income potential, and can be run from your home with zero experience? We might have the opportunity you're looking for. Imagine if you worked a 10-hour day, but only got paid for 7 hours. You wouldn't do that for long, right? Well, right now, all across America, doctors are only being reimbursed around 70 cents for every dollar they bill to health insurance companies. American Business Systems can teach you how to pump up that 70% reimbursement all the way to 98%. And in most cases, you can help doctors get paid in 7 to 10 days instead of weeks or even months. Doctors will love you. By the way, did you know that the healthcare industry is predicted to double in the next 10 years? That means healthcare-related services are in huge demand over the next decade. So what does this mean for you? When you decide to launch your business with ABS, we will train you to use our cloud-based software and services and help you find doctors in your area who are desperate for help with their reimbursement struggles. For each doctor you get as a client, you could generate $25,000 to $35,000 in yearly revenue. That means you could make a six-figure income with only a handful of clients. It gets even better. When you make the investment to become an ABS licensee, We ship everything you need to start your business right away. Then, we schedule you to join our next live training workshop, learning everything you need to know to kickstart your business and get clients fast. If at the end of the workshop you decide this isn't the right business for you, we'll refund 100% of your investment. If you're serious about launching your own business, let ABS help you succeed. We're the fastest way to start your medical billing business, guaranteed.
All righty. So I wanted to just kind of briefly show that to you as I was preparing. Wow, let me look, I've been in the snow here. I've packed that exposure down a little bit there. Look like I've been on a whiteout here. But anyway, some of you may have seen that video. And as you also, we've done some updates from that, because what we've done is, instead of doing live training here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we're doing a live training online, and you can see that it can take you 10 to 15 days to get through that. And you still get the money back guarantee, which I'll talk towards the end. Now, Fernando's just piped in here, and I believe I remember that you're from the Minnesota area. So again, that's a long way from down here in the South, and we're about to get to your cold weather here. But he's asking, it says, I used to do home health medical billing. How different is it from physician medical billing? Fernando, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that when you do your home health billing, or have done your home health billing, you did that on a form called a CMS 1500 form. That can be done utilizing the billing system that I'm showing you right now, which is the EMRX iClaim medical billing platform. So if you've done CMS 1400 forms in the past, you can do this type of billing. Now, some of you are on here going, man, he is speaking gibberish here. Well, CMS stands for Center of Medicaid and Medicaid Services. That's the form, and it's called the 1500 form from Medicare. And so that's the universal form that is used for cardiologists, for primary care, for cardiologists, for chiropractors, for home health agencies, anybody that's doing what's called professional billing. That is that CMS 1500 form. So there's a lot of different specialties and within that healthcare industry that you can be able to bill for. So, and hopefully we'll be able to share a little bit more about that. But not only do you get the platform here, the iClaim EMRX platform, and as you can see, it's generated and powered by a company called NextGen. And I'm going to share a little bit about NextGen here in just a little bit. You'll see a slide that they actually help us to help you get your clients. So you'll see how all that works. But besides that, we have several different other service lines that go along with the medical billing, because you're going to need these things. You know, folks, as we went from 2021 into 2022. Remember, folks, we were coming out of the pandemic. And what started back in 2020, when all of it really kind of started kicking off there, you know, doctors were having trouble getting patients in their office and then trying to do some things there. Now, the great thing about the iClaim platform, I'm going to go right back to that. We already had built into it. We already had a virtual office or telemed already built in there. Now what we've done is not only do we have that telemed visit capabilities in iClaim, we also have some services that will help the doctors do what's called remote patient monitoring. That's that top little box up there at the top there. So it talks about virtual care. And folks, the more that you get to understand about virtual care, the more and more doctors are going to that. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you something here. I just recently got this in, and this is a scale. You can kind of see that there a little bit there. That's a scale that is it's a cellular device type scale. And what you do with it, you can step on it, and then if you're connected to your doctor, then it automatically weighs you, and then it sends that weight over there. But we also have those in blood pressure cuffs and all different types of stuff in the virtual care package. So what I'm sharing with you folks is you're getting more than just medical billing. And for those of you who really want to get down to really broaden your business, and those that want to do dental billing, you can see we've got Dentamax in there. And again, I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. So folks, we've got you covered, and especially for those that are maybe a little bit concerned about codes. And you probably heard some people say, gosh, you better not get involved in this business unless you've gone to coding school or anything else like that. Well, those two that are right there underneath virtual care is called Audit Guard and CodeWrite. Those there are to help you launch your business, because we have professional coders ready for you to utilize if the doctor so needs that. And then as you're growing your business, you need an organization that you can say that you're a part of. You don't want to just say, hey, I'm a part of American Business Systems. What you want to be able to say is that, hey, I'm a part of the largest network of medical billers in the United States, and that is the MIRMA organization. That is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. So you can see here that we've got a ton of information ready for you to go and to be associated with, because once you complete your online training, you will be certified by MIRMA, and that'll make you a certified medical revenue manager. What you're able to do at that point is put CMRM right after your name as your credentials, because part of what we're giving to you is not only the training, but we're also credentialing you or certifying you as a medical revenue manager. Let's see, Michelin, and I really do hope I'm saying your name correctly. I hate to not say people's names correctly. But you're asking, are all of those items included in the one investment fee? They are. They're all included. You do not have to... we don't piecemeal any of our stuff. What you get for the investment here, right at $28,000, you're getting everything, which includes, again, the lifetime of support, lifetime of training, even at the point that if you need to, you get into this and you maybe had some family event that you need to put it aside for a little bit and you need to pick it back up. We don't charge anything for you to go back through training if you need to. So we've got everything that you need there. So as I'm still going through my introduction, that's all I'm doing right now. I haven't really gotten to the meat and the potatoes and anything, but I do want to tell you a little bit about the history of American Business Systems. It all started with Linda Phillips. Linda was doing some billing way back in the days. If anybody might remember, there was a machine that we used to all use. It was called a typewriter. If anybody can remember that. And for those youngsters that don't remember what a typewriter is, you probably do. You've seen them in the movies and everything, but I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence. But that's what she did. She did medical billing on a typewriter with duplicate stuff and all the things that you had to put into a typewriter and have duplicates. And if you messed up, you had to use whiteout. And boy, that's to talk about. That's how far back the Phillips family have gone back and doing medical billing. Well, what Patrick was seeing was that, gosh, this is something that Linda is doing from home. And so he started investigating and thought, gosh, I wonder if we could turn this into a business for the family. And they started doing it as a family. Now, this is when Adam Phillips, who is now the CEO of the company, gosh, he was in his early teens when all this was happening. And now he's grown and married, has 3 children, and just doing great here for the company here at American Business Systems. But you can see this business has come into a family business, so much so that they've been able to open up the door and help folks like yourself come into this business. And Patrick has written several books along the way. He's written a book called How to Reprogram Yourself for Success. He has co-authored the book, The New Thriving Medical Practice and the Cash Crunch to Cash Flow. And so with this, you're getting a ton of good folks behind you. And I can say that without a shadow of a doubt, because Patrick, Linda, Adam, and his family, we've all become family members together. We're just one big happy family here. And we've got some other folks that are here at American Business Systems too that you may be talking with. So, all right, so we're going to get involved in some of the review. But before I did that, I wanted to also, because questions get asked, Eric, Patrick, Adam, whomever you might be talking with, is this a sustainable business? Now, I'm going to give you a little sneak preview about what we're going to talk about next week, because as we wrap up the end of the year on our webinars, we're actually going to talk about, is this business recession proof? Because some people have already asked, and I want to be able to talk about that. But let's talk about sustainability. So when we're looking at the global market of revenue cycle management, that's what RCM stands for there. When we're trying to look at that, we want to look at what's the growth pattern on a yearly basis. And you can see here between 2020 and 2028, there is a steady growth into that. So much so that it's 11.22 per year. So that's an incredible growth rate there that is that's expected. Again, this is from the same institute that gave us this information. And at the very bottom, it's a little, probably maybe difficult to see down at the very, very, very bottom. But there is the link to be able to get that. So if you'd like to get a copy of this slide deck, go back and ask your person that you're working with here at American Business Systems, and they'll get you a PDF of this so that you'll have that. But you can again see the revenue cycle management market size was valued at $105 billion in 2020. Okay, that was right at the outbreak of the pandemic. But the increase going through 2028, the projected increase is again on a steady growth there that you can see, just 11.22 estimated annual growth rate. Listen, if I could invest my money into something that's going to give me 11% every year, compounded every year going through that, that's a pretty good investment. So what we're trying to do is establish, at least for those that are really looking at this, is there longevity to this? Well, remember, ABS in and of itself started way over 30 years ago. ABS became a business opportunity come January 29 years ago. So there's 30 plus years in this business of medical billing and medical revenue management that has grown so much to be at what it is today. So again, let's kind of talk a little bit about some of the reviews. Well, first of all, Patrick and I have talked about this typically at the end of every webinar, and we want to talk about our YouTube channel. So if you were to go to it, I'm going to show it to you in a moment, go to youtube.com/YABS. Now I'm going to pull that up in my browser over here so that we'll have it so that you can see it here in just a few moments here. I'm going to pop that up over here, and then we're going to take a look at that here just so that you can see what we're talking about. So I've got it to the side, but let me just share with you a couple of things. One of the topics that we did last year that you're going to want to find interesting, and again, if you get the PDF of this, you'll see that I've got the URL already there that you can go back and find it right on our YouTube page. But we did one called "What Franchise is the Best for My Market?" Now, we took a look at a lot of different franchises, a lot of different business opportunities, a lot of different things that are out there, and does it work within your market? So you're going to want to go out there and watch that webinar again, especially when you already know that there's going to be somewhat of a growth here already. In the future, you're going to want to say, hey, I want to be a part of this, but is it still good for me in my market? Let me also tell you that we're a little different here than franchises because we don't segregate or we don't push anybody into a zip code. Your market is the entire United States. Now, let me tell you why that's important. Whenever I first started in medical billing, one of the first clients that I have, now I live in the Fort Worth area, so the Dallas-Fort Worth area. One of the first clients I ever got was in Georgia. Now, if ABS would have said, now, Eric, you can only market your business within the Fort Worth area, you can go a little bit into the Dallas, but there's other licensees out over there, business owners out over there. You can't cross over to their path. I would have never gotten that first doctor way out in Georgia. My second doctor was in Tyler, Texas, which was, again, not anywhere close to where I live. So your network is the entire United States. And you may say, well, how in the world did you get doctors way out over there? Well, again, through the relationships that I had, I did some things out online. I connected with folks, and lo and behold, I had someone come up to me and said, hey, Eric, I know a doctor out in Georgia that's actually looking for a change in how they're doing their billing. I'm going, great. So we did that. We did a lot of online meetings, and this was really early on before Zoom really ever took place. So we did a lot of things by GoToWebinar and GoToMeetings and stuff like that, a lot of phone calls, and I still got the business. Now, whenever I knew I was getting the signed signature, I actually flew out there, did it, had a great time, and visited with them. We all went down to dinner and got things kicked off. So it was really good to be able to do that. So you want to go back to these webinars here, and again, I'm going to pop it open over here on the internet here. So we'll kind of browse through a few of those here in just a moment. Another one we did was exploring the ABS medical billing franchise in and of itself. Again, now I already said we're not a franchise, and let me share with you the difference again, because franchises usually have franchise fees and royalty fees to go along with that. But we put that up there just so people, hey, come to the webinar. We're going to explain who we really are, and so you're going to want to know a little bit more about us. But we don't charge franchise fees. We don't charge royalty fees. Whatever you make with that doctor is your money. We don't ask you for a penny of that. The only investment that you have with us is your $28,000 investment. I think it's $27,990. So you want to be able to pay that and pay that up front. You get through your training. Again, I'll talk with you about the money back guarantee on that. But then once you get started, and I'll show you that just with one doctor, you're going to be able to recoup your return on your investment within the first year with just one doctor. But that's what we explored in this particular webinar. And again, I put the URL there that you can go do it. Now, one of the biggest topics we probably do year in and year out are, what are the mistakes that people make? Why does this business work for some and it doesn't work for others? And you're going to want to go back and watch this one too. And then keep in mind that we're going to give you an opportunity to speak to other business owners with American Business Systems and ask them, hey, tell me the mistakes that you made. I don't want to do those same mistakes. I want to obviously be able to do some things differently. And they're going to share with you. And I tell you, probably the number one thing that we hear is my biggest mistake is I didn't do exactly what I was taught to do. Because so many people come in here with a medical background, or they come in with a medical sales background, and they try to do things that they were trying to sell, walkers with, or wheelchairs with, or anything else along those lines, pharmaceutical sales. And just because that people had a sales background doesn't automatically make them successful. Now, they may have a few more warm leads that they can go after, but I've seen more of those warm leads burned because they try to do it a different way than what we teach. So we would rather work with people who have never really had a sales background in the first place, because we're going to teach you, we're going to take you through the steps, we're going to teach you exactly what to do right from the very start, even while you're going through the training course. So here is, you're going to want to write this down. So write it down in your notes, youtube.com/YBABS. Now, allow me to switch screens here. I'm going to see if I can do a new share here and find this area. There it is right there. And I think we've got it. And I'm going to pull this over, and hopefully I'm not hiding anything. Let me make sure I've got all this. Okay, so we're actually live on that site there, and you can see here are all the different videos. Now, again, this is where you can go in here and just dive in. Here last week is 15 hours of medical billing training enough? Go watch that one. What are the top methods of finding my clients? Thankful for the work that you're doing. Is medical billing still a good business? You can see I just kind of rolled over that, and that kind of shows some things there. Here is an interview that Patrick did with Mike Jones, a new business owner here at American Business System. Here's one with Meg Johnson. So folks, you can see here, we continually do different types of webinars, especially with different folks. Here's one with Jeff Ramos. Here's another one with Jay Beatty. These are people that, again, you can talk with. Here's another one with Janet Weiler that I think I did not too long ago. Here is a doctor explaining why medical billing is the best business to start. Here's another interview with Tanya Flowers. What are the best ways to market to your doctors? Earn a living. This is with Jude. There is that's another interview that Patrick did. Let's see. Is owning your own business still the American dream? That was 5 months ago. Can you build wealth offering medical billing services? Here's another interview with Brandy. Here's another one with Lauren Patrick. Here's another one with Margaret. Here's another one with Sajida. How did the pandemic help medical billing companies? The top 10 mistakes people make when starting their business. That's the one I was showing you earlier. So, folks, we've got a ton of information out there that we want to share with you, and all we're asking you is go out there and go take a look at it. We want to help you and help you make the wisest and the best decisions. So I wanted to show that to you because, again, a lot of times during webinars throughout the year, we don't showcase that a lot, but today was a great day. Kind of at the end of the year, kind of look at all the different topics that we did. You can see all the interviews that we did. So, folks, let me tell you, everybody that's on here, let's see, I'm starting up here with Chandra, to Cynthia, Deborah, Devin, Fernando, Finn, Mayor, Michelle, Sika, Sandra. Hey, I'm rattling off names here. There's too many to be able to get off here. Go check out the YouTube channel. You'll spend hours out there getting some stuff there. So just go take some time out over there. The other thing is I wanted to share with you are customer reviews. So obviously, again, you may not know where to go find those. So I'm going to share with you. You can go find some of those. But there have been some case studies. That's what you're going to want to go grab. So what you're going to want to do to get these, I think the way to get these case studies is to ask the business coach that you're working with here. So you can see there are people, and I think I can see this correctly. It says I'm going to go from let's go from the left to the right. So young parents build wildly successful business. This is from one of our licensees or one of our business coaches or business owners from Wall Street to ABS. There's another one there. Retiree earns 6 figures working part-time. There's another one right there which is a case study. And Corey Craig found flexibility and freedom in an age and any stage. So those are some case studies, and that was specifically working with some things there. So you can go out there and take a look at that. Then on our website, somewhere down at the bottom, you can find it where it has the reviews. So you can go out there and go check out the reviews that we have out there. So, folks, we're trying to give everybody enough due diligence so you can go out there and go, gosh, man, if I could just hear from other people besides Eric or Patrick or whoever else I'm talking with, I want to talk to some real people. We really want you to go out and reach out and talk with some of our ABS business owners. Again, they're going to tell you. Now, remember, I've been one. I've owned 2 medical billing companies. I've grown those up, sold those off, and moved on, working on some other things here. Obviously, keep doing what I'm doing here with ABS. Always researching and developing some new possible services that we can kind of grab out there. But folks, what you're able to do, and what it does, it launches you into this huge world of healthcare that it just broadens your scope of I've heard business owners that said, it's far beyond what I've ever thought medical billing was. And that's what you're going to find. And that's what you're going to find out talking with some of these of our business owners there. Talking about our business owners, once you do become a business owner, I want to share with you a couple of the videos or the webinars that we do with them. So everybody on here, you already know that we do these Wednesday webinars like clockwork. If somebody can't do it because they're sick or they're out of town, they're on vacation, someone's picking up the slack here at ABS, and we're doing these every Wednesday, and we've done that for years now. But we've also been doing this for years also with for our business owners here at American Business Systems, and we store all of those videos out on a server called Vimeo. So one of the things I want to share with you is that we just had one with NextGen earlier on in the year. But here is, showing that they've got 46 years in business. They've got over 2,600 employees. They've got over 4,000 clients. They do billing for over 150,000 physician services. Now, let that sink in. So, folks, listen. The great thing about it is you've got NextGen behind you to help you. And let's say that when you get through training and the doctor says, okay, and I'm going to pick Tanya here. Let's say Tanya comes on board with us, and Tanya's one of our people that are on the webinar today with us, and says, "Hey, Tanya, I like what I hear so far. You've done your practice analysis with me. Can you demonstrate to me the system?" Well, the great thing about it is Tanya doesn't have to do it. Our partners with like NextGen, they will actually get on the phone with you, with your doctor, to help them and coach them along the way on how the product works and how it's going to help the doctors to not only save time, but really start to gain more money. It's going to really kind of show them how they've been losing money, because there's a key element that NextGen, the platform that we have, has that no other platform has, and that's called their clearinghouse. They own their own clearinghouse. So that's a huge step in the right direction. So folks, when you're trying to get claims out the door, get them clean out the door, trying to get them turned around within 7 to 10 days, if not sooner, it's all because we've got a billing system, an EMR system, a clearinghouse, a patient portal. It's all engineered and worked on by the same company called NextGen. And we've been a partner with NextGen for nearly 15 years. So this is not a partnership that's going to go away. They're not going to steal your doctors. They're not going to go back around and say, you know what, Tanya messed up, so we're going to go get the doctor. They're not a billing company. They are a service provider. That's all they are. And that's what they do to help you. So imagine having that kind of power behind you when you're out there marketing. You talk about credibility, folks. This is the power of American Business Systems and our partnerships with these technology companies. Speaking of another one, we've got another one called Docvate. I think I said that correctly, but it's all about credentialing and about Doctable and how we do other things here with some of our other services along the way. So Doctable is a credentialing service whenever doctors need to be credentialed. Let's say they only take United Healthcare and Medicare right now, but they want to add Cigna they have to go through a credentialing process. And so we've got a partnership that will help you to be able to do that. That's a beautiful thing about what we have here through American Business Systems. And again, like I said earlier, that if you want to do medical or dental billing, because dental billing and medical billing they're just two different types of billing. One uses the CMS 1500 form. The other one uses forms that are strictly for dentistry. The codes are different from dentistry than they are for medical billing. And so we've had a lot of people ask us over the years, hey, what about dental billing? Hey, we've got it for you. We've helped you support it. And a lot of the techniques that would help you get a medical billing client is the same techniques that will help you get a dental client as well. So that's some of the things there. The other thing that we do with our business owners, we do what's called roundtable discussions. This is probably one of the best supportive mechanisms that I know that we've been able to do. We get Dr. Rackner on here. We've got Tim from our support. Patrick's on there. Sometimes Adam's on there. If I can make it, I'll be on there. But we also get other licensees or business owners on there. And this is a great way that you can say, hey, this is what I'm working on to be able to expand the business, or does anybody know how to do the billing for a cardiologist or for a surgeon or whatever? I need some help because I'm marketing to that person there. This is what this is all about. This will be able to help you. The other thing is, as I mentioned, Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, Dr. Rackner is also has a partnership here with American Business Systems. And her role of what she does now, she has her own business that she helps doctors increase revenue, but she doesn't do billing. She's just a consultant for them. So she's helping those doctors try to figure out, hey, is my building secured? Is it in the right trust? Is it the right LLC? So she's doing a lot of financial stuff for doctors. Now, she is a former surgeon, so she knows what she's talking about here. She's a retired surgeon of 25 plus years. And then she found this niche of helping doctors succeed because she knows that, listen, the cash flows for doctors are tough. And so she found a niche helping doctors, and then she found us, or we found her, and then we decided to hook up. And so she's been able to help us tremendously on some things here. Now, this next little side here, hopefully there is a video here that I'm gonna play here for you that you can hear as well. And let's see if this will play for us here. And maybe not. maybe I thought it was a video there, and apparently I didn't load the video. All I did was load the picture there. But I will find that for us, and we'll go. I wonder if I've got it. Where might I be able to find that? I'll see if I can find it on the while I'm kind of talk here. I can find it for you. But a great video of her talking and just sharing face to face with you, just kind of talking the thing through here. She's a wonderful lady. Matter of fact, she will actually do an introductory letter for you, saying and introducing you, because listen, doctors listen to other doctors. If you're looking, you got a targeted doctor that you've been kind of maybe marketing to, haven't been able to get to him or her just yet, and you thought maybe if I had a little bit of help from a doctor here to help me make a warm handoff introduction, she's the lady that would be able to do it. Again, you can get a hold of her book, The Myth of the Rich Doctor, on Amazon. I'm not here trying to sell her book, but it would be good for you if you're looking to get in this business to educate yourself as best as you can, because she was the one that also co-wrote the book on the new thriving medical practice with Patrick, which again is part of your marketing supplies of what you're going to get there to help you get your first doctor. So as that doctor your doctor that you're marketing to continue to see Dr. Vicki Rackner, and then, oh man, they got a letter from her recommending your business, you're going to get an introduction. You're going to get a meeting with that doctor, if not the doctor, their office staff, to be able to get that. So I apologize for that video not being able to play here. I think it was something on my side. I loaded the picture, not the video here. So my apologies there, but try to get all the things that she would probably try to say there. Now let's talk about support, because again, support is huge, and it's huge for you as you're going through this. And again, we did tons of webinars over this last year about support. Now, the interesting thing about support with us is, again, you never have to pay for support. You're going to get a lifetime of support with American Business Systems. And it's not just a website that you go to and we go, thank you. You get a lifetime of support. Just go log in over here, and there's your support. Remember, folks, we're doing these round tables with you. That's a part of your support. That is not something that's just on a website or something. This is something that happens every Friday or every other Friday. We're doing these types of support calls with you as a business owner. However, we have a website called the ABS LSS. It's the licensee support site. You'll have everything that you're going to need to get out there. If you ever need to reorder, gosh, some of your marketing material, which I've hardly ever heard many people do. Some people have. But if you need support, let's say that you're really wanting to, a doctor says, you know what, hey, Eric, I really do need that Code Right service. And you want to go refresh yourself on Code Right, go over into the licensee support site. There's a video that's got chapters in it. You can walk yourself right through that. And then, but if you need to sign your doctor up for a demo with the Next Gen group, that's where you're going to be able to do that. Plus, you're going to get not only the lifetime of support from the website there, you're also going to get it again we have a live group of people here. You saw Tim earlier. He's got a staff there that will help you take your phone call, and help you with that. Because what you're going to do once you get through training, one of the things that you're going to have at your fingertips to be able to use is what's called a practice analysis. So let me kind of walk you through what that practice analysis is. So you would be, once you've got that audience with the doctor, typically however you're going to end up getting that'll be through one of the marketing techniques that we'll teach you. You can sit down with that doctor or maybe the office manager and get some information from that doctor. And then you're going to take all that information. How many patients are they seeing? What's their average collections that they're collecting? What's their highest code that they get reimbursed on, lowest one that they get reimbursed on? Where do they face some struggles? How are they charging, or how much are they paying for the particular billing right now? But if they're doing in-house billing, I'll share with you the difference between in-house and outsourced billing as well. Hopefully, now it just showed me that my internet was a little shaky here. I just want to make sure. So if I could get one of the participants here just to pipe in over to the question box and say, I can still hear you, I would appreciate that. So if I got anybody over there that can reach out and just type in the question box area to say, yep, we can still hear you. Just want to make sure I haven't lost everybody. Let's see. How about if I just ask Tanya? Okay, Victor, thank you. I appreciate it. I was getting a little nervous there. Thank you, Cynthia. But you were in and out. Okay, thank you. Hopefully we're back and we're not any problems here. All right. So again, you're going to go through that practice analysis, collect a lot of data, put it in there. If the doctors are doing billing in-house, we're actually going to ask them, what are you paying your biller? Is there more than one person doing billing? Someone else handling the bills and something like that. So you really drive down there, and we're gonna also be able to show you how to pull all that information and go, okay, but before you hand that information back over to the doctor, guess what you're gonna need to do? You're gonna call up support, get a hold of Tim or one of the team members over there and say, I really need for you to walk me through this practice analysis because I'm about to give it to the doctor. I want to make sure everything's right, because part of what you're going to ask the support here is, again, how much are going to charge this doctor? Let's kind of do some evaluations there, because the doctor is going to eventually ask you, so what are you going to charge me? So that's what you need to be make sure that you get that. So along with support, you're going to get multiple streams of income. Now, one of the things I did not mention, because I wanted to kind of wait till to this point, was this, and that is, if in the future, and it usually typically happens once or twice a year, sometimes we skip a year depending on what services kind of come along, but let's say that we add, I don't know, another service to the service line of income stream. We're not going to come back and say, you know what, we just added, I don't know, some super duper service for the doctors. We're going to train you, but if you want that training, it's going to be another $5,000. We don't do that. If we have another service that comes in, you are already what they kind of call grandfathered in to any other future services that we have. So what you get here in the beginning, and any future services that we have in the future, any future training on anything, any future books that come out or anything else, you'll get those. Now, you may have to pay for the books themselves, so there's a little bit of cost just with the printing and stuff like that, but you're going to get it at the cost and not at the retail cost. So we always have things there, because again, we don't make any money from you on reselling you, flyers and stuff like that. That's not where we make our money. So folks, again, we only want to help you get your clients and be able to do that. Okay, so there's a couple of questions that came in. Well, Victor says you can hear me, and I really appreciate that. Cynthia says yes, but I was going in and out, so thank you there. Okay, so I'm not even going to try to say your name because I don't want to butcher it, but here's your question. Is there specific licensing needed in different states that needs to be considered, either for the software, the services, or from a tax perspective? And then he goes on to say, if we add staff as the business grows, is the training available to the staff as part of the program as well? So answer your questions in reverse. Yes, if you need help or training with any other additional staff, again, that's all included. We don't charge you anything for that. Now, as for specific licensing in specific states, this is not a state-by-state thing. This is a federal thing, because you're using codes from Medicare. So if Medicare changes a code in Florida, it's not just specific in Florida. It's the same code that we use here in Texas, Washington State, Illinois, California. It doesn't matter. So whenever it comes down to licensing your company, there's really not anything there that you need to have specific. Now, whenever it comes down to your services from a tax perspective, obviously you're going to want to consider, do you need to be a self-proprietor? Do you need to be an LLC? Do you need to end up being a C Corp? Those are things you're going to have to deal with and ask your attorneys or your CPAs, because you're going to want to be able to protect yourself to limit your liability. I mean, obviously that's what limited liabilities are. So yes, you're going to want to do that from a tax perspective. Nothing specifically from the software, nothing specifically from any of the services. So you don't have to have any particular license. Now we say a license because now you've got the license to use all of our stuff, plus any of the other services that come through here. Now, the last thing about support is, I want to share this with you, again, is the opportunity to be part of, again, the nation's largest group or an independent network of medical billers. So that's what this whole thing's about. And you will automatically have 28 plus years of experience, because we're here to support you, to help you through about all this. So as we kind of start getting ready to wrap up here, as I was putting all this stuff together, you know, I really at times try to put myself back in your shoes. And I have to say to myself, okay, all of this sounds great, but really, do doctors really need their billing outsourced? Again, I try to think like you. I try to put myself back in the day of hearing webinars, gosh, 16 years ago, with American Business Systems, and thinking, gosh, is this really true? Could this really work? And then really, how long will this go? Okay. So again, don't hear it from me. Let's hear it from the New England Journal of Medicine. Okay. So their statistics say this, that 24 cents out of every dollar are wasted on administrative and billing expenses. So again, just think of that. Let's say the doctor sees you as the patient, and the bill that he charges you or she charges you is $100. Right off the top, $24 of that goes just to administrative services. And that's where I wanted to kind of dive into this, because a lot of people ask, well, gosh, Eric, don't the doctors have their own billers? Yes, they do. But it doesn't mean that they're making, and it's being frugal, that they're being good stewards of their own money. Because we've calculated out of really what it's going to cost to have at least one biller, and there's always somebody out there helping that person out with the claims. So we always say 1.5. Then you got their payroll taxes, and then workman's comp, training costs. You know, if they go on vacation, the cost with that, employee benefits packages, and then the hardware, or the software, or the upkeep, or keeping things where they need to be secured. I mean, $4,500 that doesn't seem like much, but there's probably even more than that. In a year's time, it could cost the doctor about $95,000. If you pull all of that together from an annual look at what it costs to have an in-house billing company, because again, remember, if they got an in-house biller, remember, if the doctor's doing in-house billing, that doctor has to take on all the ownership of everything else. However, if they outsourced it, as you can see here, 100 claims per week at $150 per claim for 52 weeks, it's 7%. It's $54,600. Now, remember, that's what you can make. So the doctor's got to pay somebody to do the claims, whether it's somebody in-house or being outsourced. Why is it not you? And you can see for your investment of $28,000, that's just a little bit less than double of what you're going to get with one particular doctor. So let's talk real quickly as we kind of start wrapping up here. What is the ROI? What is the potential ROI on what you could make? Again, go out to our website. At the very bottom, there's a calculator down there that you'll see that. So you can see that if you put in a billing rate, so that's 7%, $150 per claim amount, and you take 25 patients a day, that's $68,250. So to kind of break that down a little bit, and using, I think about the same numbers here. Instead of 150, I think I've got 100 here. So if we change that to, we're going to change it from 150 to 100. So let's take now we're just charging the patient $100. So we got 20 patients that we're seeing at $100 per patient. That's $2,000 a day. If we're charging 7% of that, that's $140 that you're making a day. Now, remember, we haven't talked much about this. You can see this on some of these other webinars over here, but that's for less than 2 hours a day to be able to do that. And that could earn you about $36,000 a year. Again, those are some low numbers there. But again, typically, it's really this, because the numbers have increased since the last time I've done those calculations. But again, I put in 25 patients at 150, that's $68,000 a year. So if you take that times two, just two doctors, you're making nearly $140,000 a year with just two doctors. And that would probably not take you no more than about 4 to 5 hours a day to do everything that's in the revenue cycle. So that's not a bad gig there if you think about it. And for the investment that it costs you to actually get into this, that's pretty good money to consider, because everybody's always asking, what is my return on investment? All right, so let's just take real quickly one last peek here, because this is some of the things that we've covered in some of these past webinars, some of the things that we've covered. I'm just trying to take some highlights, some of the big things that we've covered in some of the webinars that we've done in the past. And so let's just real kind of finish up here with what's really included with the ABS package. So we've got what's included. You've got, again, everything that's right here that's included into the package. Plus all the different service lines that we have through here. You get the ABS lifetime support. You also get the entry into the MIRMA account, which you get to put your information. You get to point people to to MIRMA and say, hey, I'm a part of this particular organization here. Because the last thing you want to do is, again, point people over to ABS and say, oh, that's a business opportunity. You're a medical billing company from a business opportunity. So we kind of protect you from that. Plus, you get the lifetime of support. You got all these different people here to help you out. Plus, again, all of the different services. So just really briefly talking, I haven't talked with you much about Quick Collect. Again, this is like a way to help the doctors collect money 3 times faster than they can from a collections agency. Again, one of the biggest lessons that most doctors learn in the medical field is that when you turn a patient over to a collection agency, you've basically lost that patient. We got to get these doctors start thinking like business people. And Dr. Rackner will tell you that most doctors don't even think like a business person. So, they go, I'll just send, my lazy old patient here who doesn't want payment. I'm going to send them over to a collection agency. Well, here, why would a doctor that's trying to take care of me want to send me over to a collection agency? Why can't I have somebody from the office work with me and try to help me maybe with some of my past due accounts? I'm happy to try to figure out how to pay this, but don't send your patients to a collection agency. That's why we have Quick Collect, because it's not a collection agency, and it really does. It collects 3 times more faster than it was if they did go to a collection agency. We also have a way to help the doctor build their business. I mean, we have AutoCard. AutoCard is a personalized way that we can have the doctor follow up with their patients with actual cards. I tell you what, it's the holiday season. One of the best things I like to do to go out to the mailbox now, usually during this time, is instead of seeing just bills come in, it's actually we're getting holiday cards in. And so it's so nice to be able to see that. Have someone that has actually sat down and wrote a card out to me. Well, this is what AutoCard will actually do. It can be signed by the doctor. We just get their signature and we can get that duplicated on those cards. And it could be anything from reminding people of their upcoming annual exams, or maybe they need to, they've got other women appointments that need to be set up. So there's a lot of different things through that. Maybe just birthday cards, just something nice from the doctor once in a while. Just say, hey, I know it's your birthday coming up, or an anniversary, or again, the holidays. And so it'd be nice that the doctors can learn how to market to their own people instead of sending them over to a collection agency. And then I mentioned to you about Audit Guard. Audit Guard is, again, it's a way that you can utilize the certified professional coders that are designed to be able to do some audits for a doctor. So folks, this is really helpful for doctors if they want to just kind of say, hey, can you just take a look at what I'm doing, make sure that I'm coding properly? That's what Audit Guard does. It's kind of like a preventative maintenance for codes. But if the doctors really do need some coding done, let's say that you get a doctor that is a surgeon and all they're doing is speaking into a recorder, and someone needs to create that chart and then get that information out there. Well, that's what CodeWrite will do. It'll take those and take all of what he or she is saying and convert that into, again, codes for you to be able to bill. And again, this is done by our certified professional coders. And then lastly, I mentioned this already to you, but what you're going to want to be is partnered with the industry leaders, and that is with Dr. Vicki Rachner and Patrick Phillips. But the great thing about it is that you can see here, right where it says where these arrows are pointing, this is where we actually print your contact information. So it'd be like, I'm going to just use me, for instance. It'd be like Eric Auger, CMRM, and then with all of my contact there in the beginning of the book. And there, what it is, it allows us to give you the opportunity to write the forward to the book. We already have a template there for you. If you want to take that, change it up a little bit, rewrite it all together, doesn't matter to us. Just make sure it's grammatically correct, and we'll make sure it gets printed in the book there. But your name goes on the front part of the cover, as you can see here, and again, inside the book. There, both places. Now I'm going to wrap up with one little more testimony here. Hopefully we got time to be able to do this, but now this is a video. I remember putting it in there. So let me see if I can start this and just kind of let it go for just a couple of minutes here.
All right, now I didn't ask you if I could share this email from you, this little note that you sent me, Beverly, but I'm going to throw this up here. I just thought it was a nice little note for you that you sent to me. You remember sending something about one of your clients and you were sending an invoice?
I did, and I knew that was the email you were going to bring up. Yes.
Yeah, we sent that around the office here. Everybody wanted to see that because Beverly is saying, she actually wrote this to Jordan in our office here. Says one of my clients is receiving an invoice for $25,663.93. That was a nice month for you there, wasn't it?
That really was, yeah. That was very, very nice.
All right, so we're not going to have a lot of time to see the whole thing there, but I wanted to share with you that that was one invoice for a month, $25,000 that she sent out to one of her clients there. So folks, this can be done and make a very good living. Now let me kind of wrap up here because we only have a couple of more minutes left. Again, I've just rattled on and just forgot about the time here, but I want to say true to your time because I want to make sure that everybody gets it. Folks, there's not another franchise or medical business opportunity that I know out there that gives a 100% money back guarantee. You have that opportunity here with American Business Systems. So what that means is that you have 30 days to evaluate everything with American Business Systems. So after you've signed your contract, you've paid your money, you've got 30 days. From the time that we receive it here, you got 30 days to review everything. Most people can get through the online training within 14 days, usually 2 weeks. So that still gives you plenty enough time to continue to evaluate. Nobody in what I've ever seen in the world of franchises or anything else, allows you to get your money back with no questions asked. If at the end of that training you just feel like this is not for you, just simply ask for your money back, and that will happen. Has it happened in the past? It has. But most people do their due diligence like you're doing. They get involved. They sit through that training. They go, I know that I can do this. Let's keep moving forward. So here's a couple of next steps for you to do. Go down and ask with your business coach that you're working here. Ask them for the research guide. It's a little over 60 pages long. You're going to get that. There's more information in there that you're going to find on our website. So you want to get that because you're going to want to do your due diligence. I've already said this in the webinar today. Go browse our YouTube channel. Go out there because there's a lot of stuff out there that you're going to want to take. And so take advantage of these last couple of weeks here. You might have a little bit of time off. Maybe you've got some PTO that you're taking some time off right now. Invest it in yourself. Go back and listen to some of the webinars that we've done. And then also take the time. You might miss some of these folks, but again, between now and the end of the year, the first part of the year, which again is just now 10 days away that we're looking at, you've got a little bit of time. Reach out to some of our licensees here. They'd be very happy to talk with you. Again, talk with them about what they've done, what mistakes that they've made, how would they do it differently, what did they do right from the very beginning. Ask them all those different questions there. One thing I didn't talk too much today about, but what you want to see is a live demonstration, again, of the software. What I showed you way up over here. You want to have your own way to go through and see a live demonstration of this. And you can do this before you become a business owner. So take some time, ask your business coach to set up a live demo for you. Maybe with a business partner, maybe somebody that you trust, that you want to, that they're going to kind of coach you along, be able to do that. Then get the purchase agreement, review that. It's about 5 pages long. It won't take you very long. It's not full of mumbo jumbo about legalese stuff. If you've been looking at any other franchises or business opportunities out there, usually it's 25 to 30 pages to review. But right up in the front part of that page up here, the page number 1, talks about the money back guarantee. So we've got it right up front for you. And then lastly, fund it, get your training going, spend that 30 days as you're wanting to do your evaluation. Take that 30 days. Like I said, you got a 100% money back guarantee. Sit through that, get through that training and evaluate it. And then if you want to keep going, you keep going. If after 30 days you feel like it's not for you, again, just ask for your money back. Folks, listen, it has been my pleasure. I know I've kept some of you a little over the 1 hour mark here. I think I've gone over 2 minutes over here. That's okay. Hopefully you've gotten a lot out of it. But if you got any more questions, give us a call, 866-565-8413. Now, remember, next week, we're going to do a webinar on, is this business recession-proof? Going into 2023, we're hearing a lot of different things about recession and inflation. So you're going to want to make the wisest decision. So let's see if we can't help coach you through helping you make that decision. Again, my name is Eric O'Shea. I appreciated you taking the time with me. Tanya, thank you for saying this is a great webinar. I hope that it's been a good webinar for everybody else. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. It's a great holiday weekend to be with family. Enjoy the time with family. I'll say this as completely off the topic here, but folks, spend the time with your family. You never know how much longer we have with each other. Excuse me. So take the time to spend with your family, love on them, reacquaint yourselves with people that you need to do. Stay away from family arguments and stuff like that. Just have a wonderful time. Enjoy this holiday weekend. We will see you next Wednesday, and then we'll get to tell you Happy New Year the next time around. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great afternoon, great evening. Bye-bye, everybody.